Come Along With Me, a short story written and narrated by A.J. Agrest. Rue jerked her head from the TV as her sister plopped down the stairs with phone in hand. Always so loud. She opened her mouth. Then she noticed the black earbuds in her sister's ears. Not worth saying something when those are in. Rue turned her gaze to her show. I'm cooking, by the way, Jess said, finally noticing Rue. I know you're starving. Oh, okay. What are you making? Silence. Rue turned back to the TV. Did you say something? Her earbuds were in her hands this time. I said, what are you making? Rice and chicken. Nothing too fancy. Just popped those earbuds right back in. When the food was ready, they sat together in silence. Her eyes were focused on her phone, and Rue was focused on hers. Then one of them got up. Still nothing to say. When Jess was finished with her meal, she would retreat back to her hole. Rue placed her dishes into the sink and watched it clatter onto the others. Her sister picked up her phone and headed towards the stairs. Hey Jess, do you want to watch what did you say? Do you want to watch a movie with me? Can't. Have things to do. Are you going to the attic again? Rue said. Yep. 'Kay. Rue slowly picked up her phone. Her frown reflected back at her. She was always here, and just there. They rarely could find their thing. Even something as simple as TV proves to be more complex with their differing tastes. She trudged towards the living room. Wait, do you want to come up to the attic with me? Jess said, both earbuds officially out. And do what? Rue stared up at her. There are tons of games up there. Like a board game? Even better. Just pranced up the stairs. Come on. Rue just stood at the base of the stairs and watched as Jess opened the attic door in the ceiling. It was probably going to be something stupid and boring. Maybe an anime or silly video game she just discovered. She's always been into weird stuff like that. Rue climbed up the attic stairs behind Jess and surveyed the area. The dull brown aesthetic was brightened by the drawings all over the walls. One of Jess as a princess, one of her as a pirate, fairy, elf. Do you come up here to practice? Rue said. You've gotten better. I had a little help. Jess moved the desk to the middle of the attic and placed 2 chairs opposite each other. She laid 2 sketchbooks on the desk and handed Rue a pen. It was glittering gold and had a silver tip. Looking closer, Rue noticed it was one of those ancient ink pens. Jess sat herself down on one of the chairs and eyed Rue intently. Are you ready? Jess said, bouncing in her chair. To what? Draw? You know I'm crap at it. Remember that mermaid show we used to watch together? I'm sure every 2000s kid remembers. Good, Jess said. Now hold the pen close to the page. Close your eyes and keep that show in mind. Rue cocked her head to the side. What weird thing are you going to make me do? Just try it, please. Rue popped onto the chair and closed her eyes, pen near the page. Are you thinking about the show? Rue imagined the 3 teen girls turning into mermaids when they dove into the water. Jess was more into it than her, but it was their show. She remembered the girls each had water powers, freezing, steaming, moving. Whenever they watched the show, they would each pick their personal character in the show. Now, Jess said, on a count of 3, we connect the pens to the page. 1, 2, 3. Rue connected the 2. She felt her brain flood with air. What seemed like a breeze glided across her face. Was a window open? It was just blowing in her face. She felt a tug at her arm. Open your eyes! Rue peeled her eyelids apart and saw herself plummeting towards the ocean. Whoa, 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 what the hell? She saw Jess at her side. Before she could open her mouth, they sliced through the ocean. Immediately, she felt a tingling in her legs. She couldn't move them apart. Open your eyes. Rue felt Jess's warm hand on her cheek. She peeked and saw her sister's short black hair waving all around her head. Glistening golden bra and tail adorned her body. Her jaw dropped and quickly closed, remembering she was underwater. It's okay. We can breathe underwater. Am I dreaming? Jess pinched her cheeks. Ow! Nope, we're mermaids now. Isn't this so exciting? How? Wait, what? I found those pens under a floorboard in the attic. Pretty cool, right? Rue felt herself sinking further into the depths. Flipping her tail, she tried to level herself with Jess. I don't understand. Is this real? Feels like it. But how? Can you please just enjoy this? Jess grabbed Rue's hand. Remember all those times we tried to swim like mermaids? Now we actually have tails. Rue tried to grab the base of her tail. The fin was wide but thin. She ran her arms along her golden scales. They were surprisingly soft. That's when she noticed the fins on her forearms. She brandished them to her sister. Jess, grinning from ear to ear, pointed to the side of her head, which seemed to have fins as well. Rue glided both hands up to the side of her face and gasped. She tugged them in disbelief. Jess floated in the water, overcome with laughter. She grabbed Rue's face and pointed it towards all the glowing coral and plants sitting at the seabed. The fish that swam by paid them no mind. Mermaids were regular residents. Jess pulled them deeper towards the seabed. Let's test out our powers, Jess said. Powers? She watched her sister stretch out her hand, moving it side to side. Within moments, she could make out a whirlpool forming several feet in front of them. An unsuspecting school of fish got swept up in the vortex. Do you think I have powers too? Of course. I bet I know which one you got. Focusing on Jess's vortex, Ruth shot out her hand and froze the fish-filled whirlpool, which floated up towards the surface. Do you think the fish will be okay? Rue asked. I'm pretty sure the ice will melt. Eventually. They swam faster than they ever did with legs. Soon the ocean started to darken with the setting sun. Gliding through the waves, Jess looked behind her and noticed Rue falling behind. It's kind of tiring, Rue said, lugging this big tail around. I noticed some rocks over there. They chugged towards a collection of rocks flat enough to lie upon. After hauling themselves onto the surface, the sisters laid their bellies on the rocks, golden tails trailing behind them. You know, Jess said, every day can be like this. Or maybe every week because school and stuff. Why didn't you tell me about this? This is huge, like crazy huge. I didn't think you'd care. How would I not care about your magic teleportation pens? You always say stuff I like is dumb, and you say the stuff I like is dumb too. Rue huffed. True. Just chuckled. But I thought you would just want to go to California or something. You know me. I like to dream big. I like all the magical action adventure anime type stuff. I can never get you to feel the same way, so I watched some of those things with you. When we were kids and watched everything together, but we're just so different now. We gazed at the warm orange-yellow sun setting before them. There's nothing wrong with the more realistic stuff. I never said that. It's just not as exciting as flying ships and superpowers. Maybe, but it feels more real. Like one day we can actually go to California. We'll bring Mom and meet a whole bunch of celebrities. Haha. Or go to Disneyland. Always wanted to see the difference between Disneyland and Disney World. I'll do the weird stuff you like if we can also do the more normal stuff I like. Rue caught Jess's eyes. She felt her cheeks flush and her eyes blur. I just want us to have a thing again. I'm sorry I've been kind of distant. Just tried to wrap her arms around Rue. This is much harder with a giant tail. The struggles of being a mermaid. We're going to have so many cool adventures together. Just crossed her arms and started rubbing them. Since we're not swimming anymore, it's kind of cold now. You ready to go home? And maybe watch a movie together? Ugh, fine. But let it be something we both want to watch. Deal. As the last glimmer of sunlight descended past the horizon, the sisters clasped their hands together. With thoughts of home, they felt their minds race. Rue opened her eyes and stared at her sketchbook. A drawing of her and Jess watching the sunset filled the page. Well, Rue said, did I draw that? I'm pretty sure the pen did most of the work. Look, mine is when we ruined the fish's day. They both ripped the pages out of the book and tacked them up with the others. Jess wrapped her arms around Rue, pulling her into a little hug as they gazed up at their pictures, side by side.